Behind me, we've got two separate bits of wall. There's a section here and a section there that look identical. But just on the line running down here, there's a slight change in the way the walls have been built. When we've worked further that way on these walls, the foundations go for at least 1.2 metres, 1.3 metres, possibly several metres deep, but we can only dig so deep ourselves. And we think that relates to the creation of the arches back in the 1800s. This section here, when you follow it down into the hole, appears to stop at about 1 metre deep. Now we think that might relate to the original medieval wall. So when we look at the wall on this side, the construction is completely different, and we know that Toft Tower is completely rebuilt in the post-medieval period. You can see there's bits of brick in there, there's bits of tile, and that all dates to a later reconstruction. But then going back down into the hole, it looks like the foundations are the same running around this corner. So it could be that we've got original medieval wall and wall foundations, we've got a rebuild of Tofts Tower, which we know is post-medieval period, and then we know when they built the railways that the section of wall running that way has been completely rebuilt. So when we've been digging, we can obviously collect the finds. You can see the soil behind me and there's bits of an old rusty bucket. We don't keep all of those sorts of things. What we want to do is try and find material that dates it. Now, I talked about the wall being post-medieval in date. This could be late medieval or post-medieval in date. It's probably just post-medieval, a bit of pottery there. But we're also finding earlier things. This is a piece of Roman roof tile. We'd call that a tegula, and then you'd have another one covering the gap in between two of them when they're butting up against each other. There's part of a Roman vessel, so you'd have a handle attached to it at that point. Here's a piece of it's Samian pottery, but it's been burnt, and it's probably part of a mortaria because it's got a rough inside where they used to grind things up. And although these look just like two stones, these are probably from a Roman floor. So if you think of a mosaic floor, they're rough on some of the sides and then the top are really smooth where they've been worn smooth. And this suggests that when they've been building the medieval walling, they've been actually going into earlier deposits and destroying potentially Roman structures, and that's been heaped up to make the rampart